Hello, welcome to the books. I have an abundance of them. My name is Julia. What are we doing today? The June TBR. This one we're doing Breath of the Wild-athon. In honor of Tears of the Kingdom coming out, the new Zelda game, I am going to be doing a past readathon, the Breath of the Wild-athon. Well, it's not past, it's actually still currently running. I think last month they ran it. This was originally and currently done by Little Book Owl, so I will link their channel below. This is a very complex readathon, so I am not going to get it all right, but there is also a full-blown website if you want to go check it out, so it's a very cool one. But my overarching goal for this month is I'm going to be playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. I originally started and I couldn't make it off of Tutorial Island, so I rage quit a couple of times. But since then I've gotten more into the swing of things, and the theme for this month is I'm going to be doing mostly audiobooks that I can do while playing the game. So I've gotten the swing of it now that I think that I can split my attention in that way. We'll see how it ends up going. But the idea with the readathon overall is that you are going to complete the story of Breath of the Wild, and the first campaign with that is 0.5, The Great Plateau. And since I rage quit on Tutorial Island, which is just Great Plateau 2.0, that is the one that we'll be doing. There are 5 prompts for it, and we might be tossing a 6th one in there. Who knows? I know this readathon needs a lot more preamble than most, but it'll be worth it, I promise. Also, as always, there will be a vlog, and for this I don't know if I'm going to feature gameplay of me playing, but we will talk about Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild in that. The first prompt here is the Shrine of Resurrection and the Camera Trial. The prompt for that is to share your TBR. That's what I'm doing right here. The other non-book prompt is the Oa Dime Shrine, the Stasis Trial, to participate in a reading sprint. I'm not generally a reading sprint girly. I find reading sprints really awkward and uncomfortable, so I don't generally do them, but who knows, maybe I'll pop into one. I'm not going to count the readathon as a failure if I don't do that. Getting into the book prompts, the first is Ja Baij Shrine, the Bomb Trial, and the prompt is to read an action-packed book that is set in a faraway land. So for that, I'm going to be reading World War Z, maybe Z, maybe because he calls it Z, I call it Z, by Max Brooks. This was a movie with Brad Pitt that I have seen, but I've never read the book, and I read Max Brooks' other book, Devolution, and I really liked it, and it had a full cast, so I actually already have the audiobook of this. Back when I was doing Audible, it's one of the books that is still hanging around there. Faraway places, I do seem to remember in the movie at least they go to the Middle East. I don't really remember, but this is a story about a global zombie, oopsie. I want to say pandemic, but I feel like I can't say pandemic. Let me just read this to you because I think it is written in diary entries. So we survived the zombie apocalypse, but how many of us are still haunted by that terrible time? We have defeated the living dead, but at what cost? Told in the haunting and riveting voices of the men and women who witnessed the horror firsthand, World War Z is the only record of the plague years. Very into the concept, very into the style of it. I think that this is going to be very fun. And having already seen the movie, I think lends itself pretty well to audiobooking while playing a video game. The next prompt is the Oman Ao Shrine, the Magnesis Trial. Read a book that you're drawn to. And I'm going to be reading The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This I just put on my 5-star predictions, so definitely something that I'm drawn to. And I also like the idea of the character being drawn to this potential ghost. As far as I know, this is a book about a ghost writer who falls in love with a ghost. If that's not it, don't tell me. I want to go into this knowing nothing and let it wash over me. I think it's going to be 5 stars. I'm already planning on this being the last book that I do so that I can make sure that my brain is well adjusted. And then the final book prompt here is the Ket Namut Shrine, or the Cryonis Trial. I always just called it Ice Power. Anyway, it's to read a book with a wintry vibe. And for that, I'm going to be reading Barbarian Mine by Ruby Dixon. This is the 4th book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I've read all of the previous ones, and this one I don't have an audiobook for. I don't think that they exist. These are shockingly fast to get through. Definitely wintry also. Probably the most on theme we've been Should I pitch Ice Planet Barbarians? Do you not know what Ice Planet Barbarians is by now? This group of women get kidnapped from Earth by this race of aliens, but then they crash land on this planet with another different group of aliens. But these aliens are big and blue and hunky, and they love ladies. Yeah, I can hear you. Don't give me that. So far, the first one is still my favorite, so I'm excited to maybe, hopefully, get another win in this. So that's all for the prompts for the Great Plateau Readathon, but in my investigation of this, there is a section on the website called Blood Moon cards, and Blood Moons are a thing that happen in the game where all of the enemies that you've previously killed come back to life. There are 10 prompts, and I really wanted to do it. I did it in the moment, so we can actually cut to a clip of me picking the Blood Moon card. I can't be patient, and also I need to put things on hold, so I'm just gonna look at it right now. First question is, how many are there? 10. And I just choose? I just choose anything? I will say, if this gives me something that's super specific, like I saw for one of the other things, there was a prompt that was like, read a book with sirens or mermaids. I don't have anything like that, so if it's something super specific, I'm gonna pick another one. But hopefully I won't have to, because I will just intuit what the right number is. There's so much pressure with this and literally no way of knowing. I think I'm gonna go with 9. Why? Because it's a good number. Because I like 3, but a 3 is a little too pedestrian. So 3 times 3 is 9. Let's just go for it. Rusty Sword, read a book published more than 10 years ago. Okay, I can definitely do that. Definitely? Probably. All right, more than 10 years ago, a really easy prompt. I went through and picked on a couple of them after, and there were some that were like, read a book with mermaids and stuff, which is specifically the thing I said I didn't want. So I'm very happy with this prompt. And the book that I'm going to be reading is definitely more than 10 years old. It's like 70? And that book is 1984 by George Orwell. Here I have the graphic novel. I previously started reading this in March for the Friends vlog, and I'm not a graphic novel person, so now I've got the audiobook, and that's the way I'll be doing it. This came out in 1949, so definitely an old one. What do I know about 1984? Big Brother? That's about it. The real reason that I stopped reading it in the previous vlog was I read this single line on the first page and thought, I might like this, so I want to give it the best chance. The first line is, it was a cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13. That's literally all I read, and I said, this might be a great book for me. And with that, we're ready to go for the Breath of the Wild readathon. Only 4 books in this TBR, but I think that's a good idea. Hopefully I won't spend all of my time playing video games, but no promises. But I hope you're as excited about this as I am, and you may have already done a round of Breath of the Wild-a-thon, so maybe this is your reminder to pick it back up. They just did one celebrating the Tears of the Kingdom release, so you can jump in at any time. This is just what I thought worked best for me. Also, let me know if you've played Tears of the Kingdom. What is the weirdest creation that you've made from it? I need to know. But that is it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you had a good time, and I will see you very soon with another video. Goodbye.